So this is another really dangerous review today. Very, very dangerous. So it's the Imponte Nightshade, which is on offer this week. But before we come into why, let's just start the review as if it was just any other. Nothing new here. So as I've said, this is for the Imponte Nightshade, and this is on offer this week, and it's only a couple of £100. And the reason this is a dangerous review is because one of my earliest subscribers and self-confessed man, myth, legend and idiot, Digby C. Caesar, said in his review video of all of his favourite cars, which you can find up here, he said that this was his favourite car. So I need to be gentle. I just need to hope to God that I like this, because up until this day I didn't own this car. I thought it was one of the ones that was deleted, so I'll be honest, I don't think I really looked for it. So when it came on offer this week, my first thought was to go to Southern San Andreas Supersport, because I assumed it would be in there, but it wasn't. It was just available on the Legendary Motors website. So what I need to do is make sure I'm getting the absolute best out of this car. And let's be honest, I'm not going to get the absolute best out of it on my usual lap of the map. But I do need to do the lap of the map because I need something to compare it to. But this is the sort of car that needs a track that starts by shouting this. Power! So as you can see, my lap of the Top Gear track might not convince you, and I'm not sure that the customization will either, because I normally have to speed the customization up by about 600% to get it all in a reasonable amount of time. This, 2,500%. I spent 7 minutes customizing this car, and you'll see it looked pretty much the same as it did when I rolled it in, but now it's yellow. So based on performance and customization, it's really difficult to say this is something you should buy. And as we come back to the main lap, this kind of just carries on, because it doesn't have a great top speed, it doesn't have particularly good handling, but it does have a few things that are really unique to this car, and a few things that make me really appreciate why this could be your favourite car. First of all, the looks. It really is a good looking car. Now this is based on, I believe, the 1970-ish Camaro, and it's a really good replica. And this is another one that kind of reminds me of the Tampa GT, in that it's quite realistically put together, in that it drives how you'd expect a muscle car to drive. As in, not perfectly. So if you don't expect it to be perfect when it isn't perfect, it's doing exactly what it said it was going to do. Obviously the first thing I can't get over is the looks. It's absolutely gorgeous. Obviously I've gone for a bit of a Bumblebee theme on this one, even though you are fairly limited in what you can do with the customization. I think Bumblebee would be proud of this. But is that performance a problem? Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, because I think the performance of this is right. I think it's perfect, but for the exact opposite reasons that the Comet SR performance is perfect. With the Comet SR, I think the handling and the power are so well tuned that they really suit each other, and it gives you the perfect handling car which has the right amount of power for the right chassis, so it just drives really, really well. This has the right amount of excess of power combined with the right absence of handling, and it gives you something that feels like this car should. This should not be an easy car to drive. It shouldn't be comfortable. I love how it rolls in corners. It's one of the few cars, if you go back to the footage around the track, you can really see it rolling from side to side in the corners, and not many of the cars in GTA 5 do that. I love that it does this, and it would do that because in real life this car had leaf spring suspension. And if you don't know what leaf spring suspension is, just fire up a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 and go and steal a wagon, because those wagons had leaf spring suspension on. This was invented in, I believe it was 1801, as a form of suspension for horse-drawn carriages, and yet in 1970 Chevrolet looked at that suspension design and thought, that'll do. So yeah, the handling, whilst it isn't brilliant, it's right for the car. But the main thing about this, and the main reason I think this is a must-buy, is it's just cool. And I mean, it's not going to be this top speed, because you can see already it's taken forever to get down this standing mile. And that's actually quite an achievement. There aren't many cars that hit an average top speed under 100 miles an hour. So it's not for the handling, it's not for the top speed, it's not for the customization. But this thing is seriously cool and a ridiculous amount of fun. And also, if we are going to do a bit of genuine consumer advice, let's put some real consumer advice in here. It is actually quite cheap. It's not an expensive car. So even if you're early in the game and you don't have a huge amount of money, you can afford to buy this. You can do a Clucking Bell and go and buy this and customize it and have a really cool car that not many people drive, but that just looks so much better than the average crap that you see people driving around in. There are so many cars in this game, there are so many good options, and this is one of them. If you want something that really stands out, something that is super cool, this really is something you should consider. So, as we come round here, let's have a look at this final time. Now, with a 1020, yeah, there's not much I can say about that. That is not a quick time. It was a reasonably clean lap. It's not a quick time, but let's be honest, if you're getting in this and expecting to do a fast time, I think you've picked the wrong car. So for my money, the Nightshade is absolutely super cool, and is definitely one you should be picking up, because it will look fabulous in whichever garage you decide to put it in. So I hope that was useful, and I'll see you all in the next one.